And my son was like, Maceo's hella smart, man. I like him, dude. He's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like,
I ain't raised no punk.
nah, you didn't raise no punk, man. And it was fucking
But you could
cool.
be punk if you want to be.
Nothing wrong with punk, right? So, no, I was just like, you know.
You're not saying to be a punk. You're saying punk like punk rock.
Yeah, punk rock.
Feel free to love punk rock. But
Yeah,
don't be
no,
a
I'm
punk.
saying it with 100% love, right? So my son was just like, damn,
I wonder if that's a shirt.
Chris's son is fucking cool. And I'm like, bitch, he's part of the IAMs, motherfucker. He's in BINDU Studios.
You are in an elite crew.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know how cool you have to be just to make it in this room?
What? Okay, I know I have people I want to bring in this room. You have people you want to bring in this room. But yeah, there is not a lot of people. I have one people.
Look,
people.
Let's be honest and
you've
real.
mentioned one people.
Let's be real. I'm fucking Yoda, and this is Dagobah.
Oh, hell.
And it's a whole fucking thing to get here and experience the Force on this Master Jedi
This planet
side.
is moist.
God damn it. It's hell of moist. You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about the swamp planet?
Fuck yeah.
I don't
Dagobah.
know what any of them are called.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the only one I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the
that's
thing
only
about
one I know.
Dagobah is it's so rich with life. It's teeming with the Force, but it also has a concentration of the dark side in that little cave.
Oh, man.
And so it balances out, and so it remains invisible on Jedi radar. And that's why Yoda ran away and hid in there like a fucking coward for hella fucking long, like the bitch that he is. Fuck him, man.
See, because I know
Fuck
that
Star Wars.
Anakin and Luke grew up on Tatooine, and that's the desert planet.
Yes,
And that's where Jabba the Hutt is.
correct. Yep, all Herbert
I didn't
Frank
even know
doing
Jabba
shit.
was on the same planet. That's how out of it I am.
That's why me and Maceo.
There's room in my brain for other things.
Room in your mind for other things like rocking the motherfucking house, bro.
That's
holy shit.
That's how we're gonna segue into this.
Yes, fuck yeah, you rocked the house in my hometown last night, our hometown last night,
Yeah.
even Maceo's hometown. Pittsburgh, California, in the East Bay, San Francisco Bay Area. You rocked the motherfucking house last night, homeboy. Woo!
I'm Chris Lujan.
I am called Bindu.
This is the IAMs.
He got red.
Volume up. No, I'm so fucking proud of you, and I'm holding it back.
Thank you.
I'm trying to be cool. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm
very
smoking
cool.
my weed, and I'm trying to be cool. But I saw you last night, and you were on stage in your impressive suit.
My impressive suit.
That's the shit I saw on TV on Christmas.
Everything but the tie. Different
on
tie.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah,
well, you
yeah.
got to change your tie.
Yeah, of course.
Your tie and socks,
Of course.
right?
I do have more than one suit.
Bro,
That's
but
just the
you
suit I
look
choose to wear.
So fucking cool, man. In fact,
you.
on my phone, there's like 200 photos of you.
Oh
bro.
shit.
Yeah. No, I was fucking with the lighting and everything because you had yellow lights on you, purple lights on you. You had your suit. You were making the face. You get down, face the fuck faces.
I felt like I was getting down.
You were making the faces only Christine sees. Sorry, Maceo. Yeah, I felt like I let into a world of intimacy last night.
I've been wanting you to see the band.
Oh, you were so good, dude. Tears of joy coming out of my face watching the whole crowd explode. They were dancing. Bro, there were hardcore Mexicans in there. Hardcore fucking Pittsburgh people tatted on the neck.
Yeah.
Loving the shit out of you, man. Your soldies are the shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
I think we only played one cover song all night. I've been thinking about it.
Bro, Andre Cruz.
No, we didn't play that one. We played I Like the Way You Love Me. That might be the only one.
Well, I went there. Yeah, the crowd was singing it back.
Yes, they were.
That was stupid.
Oh, you probably loved that.
That was stupid. He didn't even sing the beginning of the anything.
He was like-
goes, sing it with me, y'all. And he put the mic in the crowd, and the crowd sang that shit.
Yeah, before he sang a word.
It was amazing. You guys were fucking amazing, and you looked so good last night, bro.
Thank you.
And your wife was in the crowd. Your whole family was there. Maceo rocking the merch table. Jacob was there.
Yep.
Fucking, and then all of those people, what, 80 something seats?
80-something seats, yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
It was confirmed 80 were sold the last I knew, And that was before we had started.
Bro,
So
and the
who
acts
knows
that
by
went on
then.
before you, they stayed and they were watching you. They were losing
Oh, they were.
their shit.
Because they did say bye.
Yeah,
at the
well,
end,
that
yeah.
one cute-ass girl that was in the naked brown dress, right? Everyone's like, oh, she's so hot. But here's news, right? I'm grandpa age, and she's like my daughter's age.
For sure.
And I was like, you should be wearing a little more clothes on stage. I'm that guy, but I'm trying to be cool, so I'm
Yeah.
not saying shit, right? And then everyone's like, oh, you're so hot. You're so hot. And I was like, maybe be a little more conservative.
I'm not going to say what I was
She was fine as fuck, but she was adorable, kind of like the Catwoman on the Batman movie. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, Zoe Kravitz. And I'm like, no, I'm in love with her mom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you are right there. Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Finest
Right.
woman in the world. Yeah.
Lenny
Close.
Kravitz's first 2 albums are the shit. Love them.
You can't go wrong.
No.
You can't go wrong. Yeah, so anyways, man. Last night was fucking awesome, and there was great opening acts, but it seemed like opening acts in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And simultaneously, our little town in Pittsburgh was having an old cars show.
Yeah.
So there were hundreds of old school V8s. Hell of lowriders.
Right.
Hell of Chicano, Mexican,
I took
everything.
a video going, like, walking down the street.
Fuck yeah, bro. All the Harleys dialed in. All the women in their summer dresses. Everyone cool. And in the center of Pittsburgh, they're yelling out, make it over to the California Theater to see Chris Lujan playing in front of his hometown. It was surreal.
Well, I'm glad you were there.
It
when
was
you
surreal.
were.
I was decked to the nines, and I hurried my ass up. I was going to take pictures of all the yeah, I did. I was like, oh shit. Motherfucker just mentioned Chris Lujan in the middle of the street. I still got half a mile to go. So I'm walking, I'm passing all the hotties, all the hot rods, all the Harleys. I make it into the thing. When I get inside, I see Maceo, our producer.
Yup.
I see the merch table.
A stacked merch table.
Yeah,
too.
and on my Snapchat, there is 0.3 seconds of Maceo's face.
And it'll be gone by the end of by the time they see this.
Right. 24
Gone.
hours, it's
Yeah.
gone, right? So if you follow my Snapchat, you got to see Maceo for a flash of a second because all those women want to see him. And let me tell you what, when those women saw him, they're like, oh, they're clutching the pearls and shit. Damn, he's a model and shit. Yeah, he will steal your thunder, homeboy.
Yet those older women who are following him have sons your age. So they should be I guess to me, sorry. I didn't mean to lead it there. Never mind.
I'll tell you what right now, because you won't go there. My fans, would they see Maceo in that fucking, what's that shit you showed me? Where he's wearing a suit, lazy tie,
It was the day
barefoot,
it was the day of
hair
his
down?
ladies' senior ball.
Yeah.
Maceo's graduated last year.
Yeah, that
and she's
motherfucker
graduating
looked
in a
like
couple weeks.
the
like
epitome
now.
of obsession. He looked like the epitome of the Cindy Crawford fucking model days.
You know what he did?
What he
He
did?
basically put his suit on early and was like, you know how like
And he didn't give a shit. He didn't tie the tie.
right. That's what I'm saying.
He didn't give a shit. It was like he was about to make tea.
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying.
He's
Like
barefooted.
I think when I put on a suit, for instance, last night, I didn't put on a suit until like, okay, we're gonna hit the stage. Let me put my suit
You
on.
looked so good last night, dude.
Thank you.
You make me want to buy a suit.
Buy a suit.
You make me feel like a fucking scumbag because I
Dude.
don't have a suit like that.
I have a picture. We're at the fucking Men's Warehouse, right? Is that where we were? We're at the Men's Warehouse, which admittedly is like a, cheesy suit store, right? It's not like a high-end suit store. But man, there was this jacket. But man, that's the name of my favorite movie series.
Well, it's your
But
dad's
man-
porn video.
But man, I'm telling you, this jacket, I love it. I have to get it at some point. And Andre would love it too, weirdly.
I don't know, man. Andre, that motherfucker's a unicorn. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
He's black and he's Mexican. I don't think people know he's Mexican. So when he starts
Right.
singing in Spanish, motherfuckers lose their shit.
Right.
That Mexican crew lost their fucking shit when he started singing in Spanish, man. They're like, sploosh, sploosh, sploosh. You could hear the panties getting wet. It was crazy. Yeah.
So when I put on my suit, I'm putting it on like right before because I don't want to fuck it up, right?
Right. You had on a shirt and shorts, and I was like,
Yeah.
damn, rock star, you're going to go out like Flea?
That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? And you're like, no, I'm
No
going to
way.
get professional.
The rule is no shorts on stage. But he basically put his suit on early and was just loose and chilling, which was like made it even...
Andre?
No, him.
Oh.
For that picture. So it was like, that's extra cool. You're just going to put a suit on and lounge in it?
He put a suit on.
Before you go somewhere?
He put a suit
That's
on,
cool.
and then he brewed a
Cool
chai
in
tea.
quotes. Yeah.
But he brewed it with that little wand that he has.
That's matcha.
Yeah, he had like real matcha from like Japan.
Even more nerdy.
You know what I'm saying? They went to Japantown and got the matcha, and then he came home and he's just like, what? He's wearing $1,000 suit. He's just like,
Well,
it's not even tied up and shit, right? He's barefooted, right? No, the point I'm getting at is Maceo, for all of my lady fans that like me, they would stop looking at me immediately. Fucking look at Maceo. He's a fucking model, and he doesn't know it, and he's hell of a nerd, and he's all into robotics and shit, right? And he has no idea.
And he's like, I hate this right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
But I don't want to say it because
he's hot as fuck.
recorded.
No, but here's the funny part, like, I'm heterosexual, right? But as an artist,
Here we go.
I saw your son's feet.
I knew it.
He has Gray's Anatomy, perfect human foot by the dictionary.
Da Vinci painted his feet.
Straight up. There's nothing wrong. Like, normally when you look at someone's feet, you're like, ew, right?
Yeah.
When you look at his
I look
feet,
at
you're
my
like,
feet, I'm like, ew.
I look at my feet, I'm like, ew, right?
Yeah.
His foot, you could sell socks, you could sell shoes, you could sell sandals, you could sell lawn, you could sell artificial turf.
I see the socks ad, okay?
Yeah.
His feet, so you got like the full page.
He's cold.
right?
He's cold, and he puts the sock on
No,
slowly.
no, I'm talking about a magazine ad.
Oh.
Okay. You see his feet, right?
Yeah. Maceo, our producer, has perfect feet.
The floor is here.
Yeah.
You see his feet like dangling above, like they're
Yeah.
coming out of bed or whatever.
Uh-huh.
The socks aren't even on his feet. They're
No.
on the ground.
Yeah.
That's the ad for the
The
socks.
shadow of the foot is touching the socks.
Yeah.
So there's a connection.
Yep.
Now look, here's the thing. Like, I'm a comedian.
Hire
right?
me.
I'm a comedian, and when I saw his feet, I just started laughing. I'm like, those are comically perfect. Those are comically perfect. Like, honestly, you could just quit college right now and just do foot videos, bro, and you will make more money. I swear to God.
No bacon in the morning.
You'll buy a house by the time you're
Michael
25.
Scott.
Good one. Yeah, so, whatever, man. Anyways, that's just one of those odd things that no one knows about. All those ladies that got a glimpse of Maceo's face, they're like, oh my God, he's
What?
like,
So when
he's like Brad Pitt hot.
So when we do
It's like,
that,
well, you haven't seen his feet yet.
when we do the IMs live, does he wear a bag on his head?
I'm gonna have to make him a
the
mask, no.
Unknown
no, I'll make
magician?
him. I'll make him a cool ass.
comedian. What the fuck?
I'll make him a platypus mask.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, and he'll wear a Kangol. And it, like, no one gets to see Maceo.
We got to get you some
I think I have
Pumas.
to not watch. I think I have to wear a brown.
Paper bag? A lunch sack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
that's
can
what
draw
I'm
that
saying.
lunch sack. It'd be a lunch sack chronicle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right, that's what we'll do.
Okay.
I'll draw his face on it.
What? The unknown comedian? Is that what he was on the
the
Gong,
Gong
show?
Show?
Yeah, that's who he was. The unknown comedian. And he would just come out with a paper bag, grocery
Straight
bag
up
on his head.
You
eye
do
holes.
a series of terrible jokes, and they would gong him if he was terrible.
Yeah. Do you know about the Gong Show?
They don't.
Man. So this is the Gong. This is one of those things that I would say is classic America, right?
70s, 80s. There was a show.
But I just mean like you could say like Elvira. Everyone knows who Elvira is.
Hell yeah.
Well, oh hold on. Not of their generation.
right.
But like
I'm trying to tell you, we're grandpas, bro.
fuck, man.
We're grandpas. They don't get it.
Which I don't have. I've never seen that porno. Fuck, man. I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
Probably was a
I
kid.
couldn't do that.
So let's see. What were we talking about?
Well, we did get ripped right before the show.
Yes. So, last night's show.
Gong bong.
Oh, do you want me to go on about the Gong Show?
What, like,
Okay, so I would say it's like one of the. It's just like it's one of those classic. It's like The Godfather, is like it's like one of the greatest things in just American culture,
I almost
right?
just passed out right there.
What else would be like Happy Days?
No, so listen. The
There's
Gong
certain
Show,
things that are just dead center America pop,
The Gong Show was the original America's Got Talent.
pretty much.
They
Yeah.
would come on, they do a little skit, and if you could make it to the end of your skit, you would get judged by the 3 judges.
Right.
but each one of them had a bong, and there was a gong. And if they didn't like your shit, they could just gong it, and you're out.
Yeah, you're done.
Interesting.
And it's called the Gong Show. So motherfuckers would come up there, hey, this is my act. Da, 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 da. A couple of seconds in, bong! Fuck that guy, get the fuck out of here. Then someone come in, they would sing like Mariah Carey.
Right.
Okay, cool. They make it to the very end. All right, awesome. You make it to the finals.
It was kind of like America's Got Talent, right? Because it was basically like whatever the hell you wanted to do. But they had recurring characters. One was a guy who danced.
Right.
And then they had the unknown comedian.
Do the robot and shit, right?
Yeah.
And the unknown comedian
he
would
was a
wear
regular.
a lunch sack,
Yeah.
and he would cut out 2 eyes in his mouth,
Yeah.
and he would do one-liners real quick.
Yeah, and try not to get gonged.
Right, and he always got gonged. They gonged the shit out
That's
of
the
that
thing is like they were the show was basically a comedy show. Even though it was a talent show, it was dead set comedy.
And the gongers were celebrities.
Yeah, and they would stand up and they would do all kinds of things. like you're gonna get gonged, but they would like tease them. It was like just a straight up comedy
I don't like
show.
this act.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna
he's
let
standing
you keep
up.
going.
So they're showing.
I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah.
Gonna fuck you, right?
Yeah, that's how it was.
like that.
Make sure to like and subscribe and join our Discord and Patreon. Check out our links.
Now back to the show.
Back into It is a porno I've seen. I'm kidding. Okay.
Push back, little fucking hair pull, little choke.
You were about to say something. Sorry.
I know I was, and I was gonna go somewhere really innocent, but you brought me into the negative.
Negative.
Well, you know, the nasty. I like that realm. I like being there. No, dude. Okay, so let me tell you what. Right?
Jeez.
People see us here through these camera angles, and they don't change, and they don't see the rest of the room.
Yeah.
And if they saw the rest of the room, there's even more treasures to look at. It's cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't ever get to see that, right?
Right.
And what I've noticed is when you're in the audience and you're looking at the stage, it's a perspective, man. I could not help but just stare at Andre Cruz last night.
Right.
The way the lighting
there
were
too.
and everything. No, you totally were. And I kept thinking about that. And I'm like, wow, the way this is designed, you are never really focused on. All the lights were on them. So I took 1,000 pictures of you last night. You
Thank you.
so fucking cool, dude. They got these cool yellow lights on you and then purple lights on you and shit.
Yeah.
I was fucking with the lights, dimming it all out. So I got all them fuck faces. Hell yeah, man. That shit looked good. But then at the very end of the show, I went up on stage with Maceo.
Yeah.
And we saw what you saw.
Yeah.
And it is completely different than what the audience gets.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Very much.
It is a trip. And I threw it on my Snap. If people follow my Snap, right?
Yeah.
And we were just up on the stage looking at like, wow. And then he goes, wow, the Pittsburgh theater is hella bigger than this. And I'm like, yeah, I performed there as GGP. Did you see that? Were you there?
I'm sure I was.
Yeah, at the
high school theater?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, because that has to hold like 1,000 or something. Oh, so this is the thing.
Like 2,000.
No.
No? Just 1,000?
I think there's over 3,000 students. I think
it's a cool
right? Over 3?
It's a cool theater.
Whenever
and then there's a balcony.
Yeah.
Right?
Whenever there's an assembly or something, they have to do it in 2 runs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It
okay.
doesn't seat enough to hold the whole
So about 1,000, right? So this was half that. So we're right
less than half. Actually.
We're on the very end when Railroad, one of the most famous roads in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
There's Railroad, there's Leland. Those are the 2 roads.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
That's the fucking the X and the Y of the whole town, right? And so when you get to the very end of Railroad, it ends on the Mecca, this old ass Mexican joint that my entire family has been going to since they were teens.
One of the 3 things that Pittsburgh loves. What were you saying? Mexican joint?
Mexican joint.
We need to say Mexican
Well,
joint?
I've been going
because it's
there.
called the Mecca.
I've been going there since I was 5, and they have this gigantic bullhead with a fucking joint out of its mouth.
Forever.
It's been there since the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So forever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so everyone knows if you see that bull with a joint in his mouth, you're in fucking Pittsburgh.
At the
right?
Mecca.
Right? And they cater the fucking Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
They cater the Oakland A's. They cater the San Francisco Giants. They cater the fucking Warriors, the San Jose Sharks, like they cater.
Yeah, they do.
And it's this little tiny spot in Pittsburgh. It's not a chain, right?
Right.
Right across
There's
the
never been
street
another
from
one.
that is this old ass theater.
Yeah.
And it has a balcony and it's just wonderful, right? And that's where you performed last night. And it was so fucking awesome. I was so fucking proud. Almost 100 people in the room in a tiny ass little shit. So it's cramped.
Right.
Everyone's dancing. Everyone's shit. People are singing words back.
Right.
What the fuck, man?
So
How did you feel, dude?
it felt good. I feel good about it. You know, of course I wish there were more people there, you know, but like
Bro, you never looked better.
So, like I said, the Mecca. One of the three things that Pittsburgh loves is the Mecca.
Correct.
The second thing that people love from Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh, is the marching band.
Absolutely.
And then the third thing
Because of
that
Mr. Cross.
yeah, and the third thing that they love is the football team,
Yes, Pittsburgh Pirates.
right? And I think it's super difficult to get anyone from Pittsburgh. Pirates life for me. It's difficult to get anyone from Pittsburgh to support anything else from Pittsburgh besides those three things.
Correct.
You know,
Because they put all their shit into those three things,
Right.
and they're from Pittsburgh. They're not
Right.
affluent. Mm-hmm. So sorry about your side
So-
project, fuckface.
so I'm happy with the amount of people that were there. But when the capacity of that place, I looked it up because I was, you know, trying to gauge, like, I was told a number of how many tickets were sold and stuff. So I was trying to gauge, well, how many people were there? How many did it look like? So the capacity on that place is 330,
Wow.
right? So
I thought it was 500. It's even smaller than that.
yeah, so it's 330. So when we first got there, basically I'm going to try to lead you into how many people I know were there based on tickets sold. So on the website, when you were going to pre-order tickets, order tickets digitally, it showed you a seating chart. And so it didn't look like that many seats were sold, right? You have to consider you're looking at 330 seats, you know. So it didn't look like that many were sold. So I was like, oh man, I don't know if they're happy about ticket sales or not. But then, oh, God damn it, I'm high. Not
right.
God damn it, I'm high, but so when we got there, the guy Rick who put it on,
Cool guy.
yeah, he was like, oh, ticket sales picked up today, and I was like, oh, good, you know, and he seemed positive about it, you know. So I was like, okay, that's good, you know, because sometimes a club will tell you, and I think we talked about it, you know, a few episodes ago, where it's like one night we had 100 pre-sale tickets,
Woo!
and the next night we had 9.
Right.
Right. So sometimes they'll tell you in advance if it's low. Sometimes they'll tell you like, hey man, we've only sold this many tickets. Pump up the, you know,
BINDU show.
advertising or whatever.
150 people Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Tuesday, 3 tickets sold.
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck?
So yeah, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
So when we got there, he said ticket sales are up today, and it's like, okay, that makes sense anyways, because that usually happens on the day of the show.
Tight.
And then his partner Amador, when I saw him, he was like, oh man, I don't know about tickets, man. Like it's Thursday, and I was just like, now he seemed negative, and got me like worried, like, oh shit, you know, what's up?
I'm listening to you. I'm not starting a bomb.
It's just funny.
I'm getting high while I'm listening to your story.
I know. I'm already high, trying to maintain here. So he was like, I don't know about tickets, and I was like, shit, you know, one guy seems like positive, and the other guy seems like, oh, I don't know, there are like no tickets sold.
I'm just waiting for you to finish because I know the outside story and what was happening on the outside, and it was crazy. So go ahead.
Okay, so then when I go to put names on the guest list, I overhear that there were 50 tickets sold so far, right? So I'm like, oh, that's good, because in my mind, I was like, based on the show I did at the winery, which is a completely different show, not the winery, but the wine bar, completely different show.
Where was that?
You were there. The one you came to.
Word.
Right?
Word.
Very small.
Yep.
But that was, I threw together a band real quick,
Damn.
and we just played like improvised jazz.
Damn, it was tight.
Not even like jazz tunes, just we improvised.
So good.
Right? So that one was like, hey, come to this thing I'm doing. But this one with Andre, which is basically my main act, it's like, Now we really have to pump it up. So,
this is my heart and soul.
Yeah.
Please support me in my hometown, goddammit.
Right.
This is my hometown.
Yeah.
Come on, Pittsburgh.
So.
Yeah. I was
Damn it,
there,
where
bro.
was I?
I was there. Sorry.
No. So I was scared that there was going to be like 12 people there. You know what I mean?
Dude, there was 80-something people there.
Yeah. So when I first went to put some names on the guest list, I overheard that 50 tickets were sold. Then later I heard 65. And it was like, okay, people are buying tickets. At that point, we know people are buying tickets. That's 15 within the course of 30 minutes to an hour.
On a side note, I noticed we have 55 subscribers so far. Woo! Go ahead. 55, 65 tickets.
Yeah. So then, before we play, then I hear 80, right? And I'm
Fuck.
like, okay. And then all of a sudden, Amador and Rick, they seem happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is their very first show that they put on. Us Two Entertainment.
Yeah, those dudes came up to me and they were like hugging me and
Really?
shit. Yeah, and they kept talking about the podcast. Oh, you want some more coffee?
I do, but go on.
Yeah, and it's because I have this whole weird look.
Oh, yeah, because because I've posted all of the shorts across our stuff.
Right.
That's what they're seeing.
So I
Yeah.
show up with the look and they're like, whoa, dude. They're like all about it, hugging me and shit. And I'm like, this is odd.
Yeah.
They got tattoos on their face,
Dude,
bro.
that guy was cool as fuck. Man.
They're like LA, like
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
guy, he runs a skate company.
Yeah, they were cool as shit.
Yeah. And you know why?
And he had Ace hat on?
Yeah,
I was like, that's my boy.
you know
right
why
there.
they were cool as shit? Because they're fucking skateboarders. I'm telling you. Like
get it.
skateboarders accept everybody.
I fucking get
You
it.
know, so they don't play a hard act. And so like you would imagine
Well,
a
you
guy
gotta be
with
hard when you're a skateboarder,
Yeah,
right?
but you would imagine, you know what I mean by hard, gangster. The guy, imagine, tattoos all over his face.
Yep, with an Ace hat on.
So you think like, oh shit, like don't fuck with this guy, which maybe is the cool costume to wear, right?
Yeah.
Don't fuck like this guy.
Yeah, no, I immediately
Because
loved
who would
him.
do that? He's crazy. But cool as
Yeah.
shit because he's a skateboarder. You know, and skateboarders accept everybody. So why a skateboarder wouldn't come off hard?
Yeah, and he had his lady
know.
there, or some lady was there.
His
She was all cute.
She's part of his company.
And she was tatted from the fingernail.
You know why?
to, like,
Two of them work at a tattoo shop.
yeah, I
their
was
first
like,
thing.
holy shit, they're not fucking around. I like these people. They're
Yeah.
cool as shit.
Yeah,
Real
I'm gonna
pirates.
connect with that guy. I like what he's doing.
And
if we
so-
could find a way to collab, I would be doing.
Okay, so no problem. Because what was weird was my friend Emmy, I have a gorgeous
Oh,
friend
that's
named Emmy.
right.
She brought her mom, who's Czech, she wanted her mom to see live music.
Yeah.
And she has bought all your albums. She loves your shit. Your
'Cause it's
soul
good
shit.
shit.
It's good shit. It's the best shit, right? So she brought her, and she brought Liz. Now, Liz is my friend that helped me get my Harley from Colfax to here.
Oh, okay.
Right? When I
Yeah.
didn't know how to do it, all that type of shit. So Liz hooked me up. So I always hook up Liz at my shows. So she comes to my shows all the time.
Yeah.
So Liz, Emmy, and Emmy's mom, Mama Ka, they all come to the show. They didn't know I was going to be there. They were just there to support you, have a good time, right? And I was like, oh shit. So like my little crowd got bigger, right?
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome. And they fucking loved you, dude, so fucking much. But Liz was homies
Right.
with all the dudes running the show.
Went to school with them.
All of them. Like she's like, I
Yeah.
haven't seen these guys in 30 years.
Right.
And so they were just high fives and hugs the whole fucking
I'm
time.
Chris Lujan, the mayor of Pittsburgh.
You know what I'm saying?
I bring people together.
Fuck yeah, you do. No, we're people that know people, man. And so you're like, yeah, I would like to collab. And it's like, no problem, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
I like his story. You know what? That's what it is. I asked him, I basically, like, before the doors even opened, he's all set up, and I see that it's like skateboards. It's called Everyday Skate, Skate Every Day. So ESSE or SA.
Essay. Fuck yeah.
But that's what it stands for, you know. He actually had like people ask him about like, oh, can I buy this shirt though? I'm not an essay. And he was like, oh, it means, you know, everyday skate, skate every day. So you are an essay.
Hell yeah, you're an ally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm wearing a shirt right now that's very tribal. Mm-hmm.
Red
I
Blood
did-
Bluff.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I did a fundraiser for that pipeline in the Dakotas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big thing. And it's from Tribe, right? And so there's a whole bunch of allies that are not Native American that ask, like, wait, can I wear that shirt?
Right.
Fuck yeah, you can.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, support that shit and wear that shit and spread that shit.
You've been supporting that shit all your life.
Yeah, kind of.
For real.
But now I eat on Thanksgiving. I never used to do that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But I do it now because it's like, it's so rare that families get together
Yeah,
that
okay.
I give it to my mom. I
Yeah.
give it to my mom. She gets to have me, the brothers, the grandkids. We're all eating turkey and shit.
I just know that, like, every Thanksgiving, like, it goes through my brain, and I've probably done it a few times. Like, should I text Brandon? Like, I would say Thanksgiving, but ... you know, because I know that. So that's how deep into it you are. So you know,
We
or
made a
were
song
forever.
about it, and
Exactly.
we fucking performed that
And
shit.
that song is Red Blood Bluff.
Yeah,
which is why
well,
it's so
you know, if people know the actual history of Thanksgiving, it's pretty horrible,
yeah.
right? And so, you know, knowledge
Franklin
is
on the
power.
other side of the table. That's
So-
the history of
So
Thanksgiving.
for decades, I would fast on Thanksgiving. And all my close friends know that. So now, if I'm actually eating on Thanksgiving, everyone's like, word, holy shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Pass me pumpkin pie and shit.
So
Yeah, so there's that.
So whoop, all the way around.
Yep.
So 330 people, 80 tickets sold, and however many else, because I was told 80 tickets sold like 20 minutes before we played. So who knows how many more people filtered in. But
They weren't letting anyone else in by that point.
oh, well, never mind then. So, but last I heard was 80. So I don't know when the, you know, it could be 87, 92, whatever. But, so like I'm thinking like 330 now knowing 330, I'm looking at like just the front. Like there's basically like the first 4 or 5 rows.
Such a cool fucking club.
Is
We'll
where
throw
everybody
pictures
was.
up here. Boom. I took a lot of pictures.
Good. So there was maybe like the first 4 or 5 rows, 6 rows maybe. That's where all of the people were. So it's like trying to think. It basically looked empty to me. But like knowing that like, oh, that place seats 330. Not empty at all.
No.
You know, if there was a fire in that building, there would be a lot of sad families.
Bro, a lot. So like when you're at one of my shows and it's packed, that's 40 people, right?
Right.
It was double that amount.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people there, and they were so into you, dude. They were dancing in the aisles, man. Fucking Andre was like, "Are you gonna dance with me?" Motherfuckers got up.
Yeah.
There was zero hesitation. It was incredible, man. That shit was amazing.
So let's go behind the scenes. So, you know, where we live, again, Pittsburgh, California, right? If you're trying to come to Pittsburgh from anywhere west of us, you know, Concord, Walnut Creek, Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco, Daly City.
there are time periods where it can be as bad as LA.
Yeah,
the 405.
Well, they already said forget about rush hour traffic in the Bay Area. Now it's just traffic, like all the time, right? So we've basically reached that anyways, where it's like always trafficy. But during that time, like basically they were asking us to load in at 5 o'clock. They actually asked if we could be there by 4 o'clock, which for me wouldn't be a problem because I'm in town. But for some of the guys, it was like 4 o'clock. To be there at 4 o'clock would mean they would have to have left at like 1:30.
Can I just let the audience know what I
We
experienced?
don't live that far from San Francisco.
I am in Pittsburgh, right on the cusps, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And so it took me about 4 minutes to get to your location.
yeah.
But you told me there was going to be a car show, and I'm like, well, I know Pittsburgh, they always go all out, so I'm going to park far away,
We could talk, man.
right?
Leads into
so
much
what I
stuff.
did was I drove in through the back streets. I could see where all the cars already started to pick up, and I'm like, wow, it's by Nick's, like behind Nick's.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I fucking parked.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That's a fucking mile away from the location.
So,
Right? So I didn't say shit. I just parked. I got all my shit. And I knew it was going to be like that. So I made my way to Nick's. And then now I'm on Railroad, the Maid Vein, and that's the street that's closed off that you're talking about.
Right.
And there is fucking hundreds of old school V8s. And
There were a lot more than I thought there would be there.
I would say at
Way
least
more.
100, right? And then there
Could be close to that.
there were maybe 80, right?
Yeah, like that's not out of the realm.
Dozens of Harleys completely decked out.
Yeah.
All the women in
Lowrider bikes.
summer dresses, toes all did, hot as fuck. Just Mexican music everywhere.
That was a salsa
right?
band out there, yeah.
I'm walking down the
Tight
street.
salsa band.
I'm hurrying up. Now I took my time.
I want to be in those.
I took my time. I was whooping my son's ass in Street Fighter 4 Ultra because
You got there in plenty of time,
Look
though.
right behind you. See those controllers?
Jesus
Yeah, I'm not
Christ.
fucking around, man. Yeah, those $250 a piece. Yeah,
Okay,
I
wait,
love whooping
so
my son's ass.
Not as much as my keyboard, though.
Damn, the mechanical shit. I know what you're talking about.
so 200.
Right, so I'm walking.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. Hold
No,
on.
remind me to talk about these. That's all.
Okay, yeah, $250 for those goddamn things. I'm walking down the street. It's a Pixar film. It's surreal.
Yeah.
It's surreal. People are eating ice cream and shit.
Cars
and
the color
everyone's
of
looking
jelly
cute.
beans.
All the cars color of jelly beans.
Uh-huh.
Like, what the fuck is going on? The coolest motorcycles you ever saw. The beautiful people. All the dudes tatted out, but being cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's being
Too
civil.
cool.
No fights. And right in the center of it all, there's like a greenery, a park.
Yeah,
And there's like
the
a
square.
Mexican band going on.
Yeah.
And I'm catching the very end of their song. And right when it ends, they're like, all right, thank you so much, y'all. If you hurry up to the California Theater, you can catch Chris Lujan playing in front of his hometown, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, shit. Right at that time, my watch goes off. And it's the kiosk.
Oh, it is?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But it's like, hurry up, Brandon, because the fucking gate's going to close soon.
think that was you.
And you don't want to miss your show or whatever. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm walking. So I'm strutting. I go straight to the California Theater. It's right at the very end of the rainbow, right? And it just, the deeper I get in, the better it gets.
The jelly bean rainbow.
Bro, the cars get better.
Yeah.
Right?
They
The
do.
motorcycles get better. The women get more beautiful. The smells get more rich.
Because you're
The
getting
s-
closer to the Mecca.
Dude, getting closer to the Mecca.
Dude,
Fuck
that
yeah.
Italian restaurant smelled good as fuck too. Because I walked
La
up,
Veranda.
Yeah, I walked up and
Yeah.
down
Fuck yeah.
where the cars were, and that restaurant smelled really good.
They're awesome. They're friends of mine. I've done shows in there.
Okay.
Yeah, La Veranda. They can fit about 25 people inside there. Dope ass venue. And they got a fresh menu. Yeah, let's support local.
So the car show.
So I make it all the way up to the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, hey, I'm on the list, and like, go next door to the window. So I gotta, whatever. I leave. I go to the next door to the window. I am on the list. I give my name. They give me my thing. I get to the back. Now they treat me like royalty. I come inside, and it is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I see Maceo, I see the merch table, and everything starts to settle in. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go to the Mecca
Yeah.
and grab some food and be right back. And they're like, oh, there's no ins and outs.
Yeah. No insies outsies.
And I'm like, God damn it. So I proceeded to get drunk.
Oh, you did?
No, I had a drink.
You
or
didn't
two.
seem drunk to me at all.
Well, I wasn't drunk, but I had a drink.
I wouldn't even have known you had a drink.
Well, I was an adult and I sipped it. And, I made it last like an hour and a half. Yeah, I did exactly that. It was more like
Like
something
a
to
hummingbird.
He came out like 3 times and was still half full.
hold, right? Oh shit! No, right.
I like
I
the way
wasn't
you
drinking
think.
it.
What?
Yeah,
Half full, not half empty.
exactly.
So
well, I wasn't trying to be Bindu.
I get it.
This was your show.
I could
Okay,
see
so
you. I could see how much you were enjoying it too.
I was loving
So
it.
I loved that. I loved watching you enjoy it. So the car show, right? And too cool. Okay, man. So
also, thank you for letting me talk for 30 minutes straight. Jesus
no
Christ.
problem. No,
That was
I just
awesome.
had to like. I still have a quick. Even me saying to him, I have a question about those helps me
$250
remember.
each for those
Oh,
controllers.
so real quick, $250 each for those.
Right.
When you built them, right? How much? Like, if you were to sell them right now, how much would they sell for?
I don't know. It'd be more than that
Yeah.
because I have custom sticks and buttons
Exactly.
and shit like that.
Or do they still sell all of this custom stuff that you could buy still?
Good question. Every year there's this event called EVO, and that's where all the fighting games go to compete for high dollar money in Las Vegas. And Street Fighter is still the main thing. Last year was the 25th anniversary of Street Fighter 3.
Okay.
It came out in 1999. That's the one that I love to play because it's almost like hand-drawn animation. and there's a parry system in it to make it so equal that you can actually bet on it in Vegas.
Okay.
All right, $300,000 on
Right.
this fucking round, right? That type of shit. So when we just saw EVO that just happened a couple of weeks ago, they're still using those fucking controllers.
Okay.
So they have not gone out of style at
So
all.
they're probably still selling all of those. So like
Correct.
$250 for you whenever you did them, still probably $250.
You might be able to get them
minus
for 200
inflation or whatever.
You might even be able to get them for like 200.
Okay,
But you're going
gotcha.
to want to change out the buttons and the joystick. And
Okay.
all that.
I didn't know if it was basically like, oh no, you can't get that shit anymore. These are worth $400 or $600.
Do you want to know how crazy robotics will go sometimes?
Tell me.
They will use those controllers.
I love it.
At the competitions?
Yeah, there have been teams that have either those controllers exactly, or they just have a plank of wood or something that has those buttons.
For those at
That's
home,
tight.
where
I
I'm
actually
talking
like
about
that.
the Razer Pantera controllers for the PlayStation 3, 4, and with an adapter 5. Mm-hmm. And they are amazing.
All right.
And it's the actual Sanwa, everything that you get at the actual arcade on a Street Fighter machine. It's amazing. So the ASMR click of it, right, is that whole, it's hard to describe unless you spend a whole lot of time on it. And your son would know, because he has spent more than that on a fucking keyboard.
Yeah.
Just for that exact reason. The clicks and the actual push and the feel. So when I'm typing, I feel the best I've ever felt in my life. Oh God. I can do this all day. Right? It's that.
All right then. Okay, so you can still get them. So
Yeah.
whatever.
No,
That-
it's a whole sport.
yeah. Anyways, I was just wondering if they were worth more. No, you can still buy them.
Also, my
Anyways,
son came here and he's like, Dad, before I go to my paintball championship tournament in LA, because we're in the Bay Area.
I need you to whip my ass on Street
Right, no, he
Fighter
goes,
for
I
an
just
hour
want
and
to
a
play
half.
right now. If I beat you, I'm going to feel real good. And I'm like, son, I never hold back.
Yeah.
I never hold back. I've been playing this longer than you've been alive.
He better
And I whooped his fucking ass like for an hour and a half. But he was very happy
tell
about
him. You might not want to come do this before you go play paintball. Because
for
you
sure
might
don't want to do this.
You might look at it as like a bad luck. Like if you don't beat him, how are you going to be good at your game? You might yeah, you know what I mean?
Newsflash,
Shit.
he actually beat me the last round.
Oh yeah.
He beat me the last
When
game.
you were playing with your feet.
No. So he beat, I go, okay, this is the last one, man. I got to go see Chris.
I mean,
And
when
goes,
he was looking
all
at
right.
pictures of my feet.
Either way, feet were involved.
I was starstruck, right? Damn, Maceo. Right, no.
Yeah.
So I'm like, look, I got to go see Chris, and you got to go to LA. This is the last one. Pick your best character. And I played my heart out, and he beat my fucking ass.
All right.
And I'm like, this is the best way for you to leave.
Yeah,
Because I just whooped your ass for an hour and a half, and you won at the very end. Just leave now.
Are you going to do that every time now?
No. No, man. No, and because the reason why
Let him win?
No. The reason why he felt so much satisfaction is because he immediately saw how mad I was internally, and then I controlled it, and so that it was no big deal.
He was like looking at your eyes.
right? Yeah! He
Waiting for
saw
it to
me.
pop.
He saw the struggle, and then okay, wait, this is my son. This is a good thing. All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Right? He saw that dissipation, and he was like, God, that was satisfying.
Right.
He saw me battle the demon.
He slept good last night.
Fuck yeah, he did, right? So yeah, so
Okay.
now he's at his championship blasting people.
Good
So,
luck.
Back to
A month ago.
the car show, and
weeks ago.
you're gonna play. and
So the car show out front was, I think it was 4 blocks long.
fuck,
Both sides.
God.
And even down some of the alleyways.
it was more than that.
Not alleyways,
It
but
was
side
so
streets.
much.
So, tons of people.
And when you're talking about cars parked, lined up those 4 blocks,
Yeah.
there's also a parade of
got
cars
something.
driving around. It's nonstop. Oh my god,
So someone commented.
so cool.
Because the guys who promoted the show, put on the show, Us 2 Entertainment, right? Us 2
Yeah.
Entertainment.
Fuck yeah.
They shit, what was I gonna say?
Someone commented.
Oh, thank you. Very, very easy there. So they've been saying, as they've been promoting it right after the Lowrider car show, right? And someone commented, it's not just for lowriders, it's for all cars, right? And I was like, I think that's wrong. But like Rich basically was like, yeah, okay, whatever, kind of, you know. But it was really all low riders except for one Beamer. There was we noticed it. Andre noticed it. It was just like a Beamer convertible, just there with all the cars.
I didn't see the.
Why would you? Somehow Andre noticed it.
I didn't see the Beamer.
But I think it was a low rider car show. So it being a low rider car show, everybody in that street, diverse crowd, right? Yeah. Everyone in that street who's interested in low riders, the music that they would like would be ours, right? Correct. So that's the thing. It like trying to get that whole crowd would love what we're doing.
Bro, you had those fucking Chicanos and those Cholos. They were fucking tatted up to the gills, loving the fuck out of you, man.
Right.
Holy
those are the ones who came in.
Fuck yeah.
So the issue is, how do you get those people? You know what I mean. How do you
get our people?
How do you get our people, all of the people at the car show, to know who we are and get us in the theater?
Well, this is something that we were talking about because people were at the car show for hours.
That too. I'm getting to all of that.
Yeah, you were at the very end. They were there all day long.
So the car show ended at 7, and our doors opened at 7:15 or 7:30. I think they were supposed to open at 7:15.
They opened a little earlier.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, so they were announcing you in that park right about 6:50.
Right.
10 minutes to 7.
Right, because that's about when you showed up.
Right.
So...
Or no. What like 7:30 or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. It was around there.
We need to fight about times.
Right. I get it.
So...
I'm just saying they were announcing you to a large amount of people.
So thankfully, they were announcing us, right? But like... so there was one car that had Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings bumping out of it, right? Just like... It must have been an album because it was song after song, right? I wasn't paying attention to which songs, but it's like, that's Sharon Jones, you know? So I went up, I asked for a bunch of these, the postcards, right? To go hand out, right? And they were like, oh, we've been handing them out. But like, I was like, give me, you know? So I went around there and I'm like, I want to give the card to everybody, right? But you could kind of see who might be interested and who might not be, just by their vibe, right? Like who might actually come in and who might not give a damn.
The people who were there and the people who were there for the cars.
Sure.
Right. So it was difficult, right? So to figure out who to hand them out to. So I'm like, these people are bumping Sharon Jones. These people. How do you say this without sounding like a racist bitch? So they who have this car.
When you're saying these people, you're saying...
I'm talking about us.
The cool people.
Yeah.
Right.
Is basically what
Right.
I'm not talking about a race. I'm talking about the diversity of Pittsburgh, everybody.
We're different times now.
I don't know why I gotta
and
feel
most
like
people
I gotta
suck.
explain myself.
So when we say these people, we're talking about...
Yeah, we're not doing the those people, these people thing.
Nah, we're talking about our
So
people.
it's like, they're bumping Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings.
Fuck yeah.
These are my people.
Fuck
right?
yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to tell them, if you love this music, you'll love what's going on in the California Theater tonight, right? It's a tent of, I think there were like 5 men and 2 women.
I think you guys are better than...
Well, thank you, but that is super high praise.
No, after seeing you perform last night, that was amazing.
Thank you.
You guys were amazing, and Andre Cruz really is a rock star.
I just put Sharon Jones at so much of the top, nothing could be better than her.
So
it's like hard for me to even compare.
No, so I agree with you on that, and I love that, right? Rest in peace. Mm-hmm. She's gone. Mm-hmm. You're not.
Right.
You're here. I saw you guys live last night.
Sorry, but perfect reason to go on about this story. So I go up to them and I'm like, if you love this music, you'll love what, you know, because I said, like, who's playing Sharon Jones? Like, I made sure they knew I wasn't just being like music. It's like, I know what you're listening to, right? You're listening to Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. If you love that, you will love what we do. Come to the California Theater, right? Like I said, there were like 4 men and 2 women. And I give the card to like one guy, and then another guy wants one I could see, and then I give one to another guy, and one of the guys is just like basically just like, get the fuck away from me. Like He was an older guy, so it wasn't get the fuck away from me. It was more of like a shoe fly, like that, which was kind of like
He didn't say shoe. He said
up.
fly.
Yeah. So I give one to one of the women, and she goes, "How much is it?" Right? And I go, "I think it's $15," just like that. And she goes, "You think it's $15? You're handing these out. You don't know it." And I'm like, "It's $15, right?"
Sassy.
So it's like Pittsburgh is great and all, and this happens everywhere, but that's the attitude. So how are you going to get people who respond in that manner to the show?
You have to know.
Do you know what I mean?
I do. You have to know people, right?
Right. So I'm saying, like, it's this whole street full of people.
Right.
How are you going to get them into the theater if they're not going to take a chance on what you even sound like?
Contact my girl Liz. And Liz is like, "Oh, I know all those motherfuckers, and I can get everybody in there." And I'm like, "All right, let's do that shit."
Well, had she known before, maybe she would have packed the joint with old school buddies.
Man. She went last minute and didn't know. And like, dude, I walked them to their car at the end, right? It was Emmy, it was Liz, and Emmy's mom, Mamaka. They're Czech. And I walked them across the street. You know the parking lot behind the Mecca?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So I'm walking them, right?
That makes more sense. Because when she said across the street, I was like, because you asked where they're parked, and she said across the street, and I was like, across the street is a weird situation where you're like, okay, it's just across the street. You guys could go yourself. But I also understand it's across the street, I'll walk you there anyways. Knowing that it's behind the Mecca, like it was in that parking lot behind, I'm glad you walked there.
Where people get murdered?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you walked there.
So I walked in there.
Because that's a little further than...
Fuck yeah.
Behind the businesses.
I mean, Batman's my hero, dude. It was after a happy moment.
Christ.
Let's just walk down this aisle real quick.
The night at the theater.
Yeah, dude. And that's where it all happens, right? Yeah, so I'm just like, fuck that. I'm walking you guys. I'm ready.
This whole dialogue went through his brain. He's like, I'm at the theater. I need to walk someone to their car.
Brother, where were we?
Yeah.
We were at the California Pittsburgh Theater,
right.
and I'm walking her to the car.
Yeah.
Batman on full, right?
Yeah.
She could not stop talking about how great you were. Liz was like, damn, that's what I so needed. She just went through some crazy neck surgery.
Yeah, she had like a...
Yeah. Remember, like, when she came to the show not long ago? She was like that girl on 16 Candles. Trying to drink at the water faucet.
Yeah. She was so high. Hi, Liz. She was so high at that show. The paint night, at your paint night, she was so high at that show that last night she was like, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, no, dude.
I was like, we've met. But now, like, it was like, oh, yeah, you were so high at that show.
She was fucking neck and neck.
She was high on, like, painkillers medication because she had surgery.
She forced herself to go to the show, and she should have been bedridden.
Probably.
But she was all about supporting local artists, and so...
She painted half a painting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's an outline, whatever.
Yeah, that's when Maceo painted the jailbird. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
So,
man, good times.
Yeah, definitely. So back to it. It's hard. I don't understand.
How do we get that thug mentality of our hometown into that? Because they would love it.
Right. And I don't know how many people did just take a chance. So the thing about the car show that you wanted to talk about is like it ended at 7, right? So maybe people got there at 5 o'clock. Maybe people got there at 4 o'clock even. You know, like there's cars parked there up and down the street, you know, lowriders. And like it's packed. The sidewalks are packed. The middle of the street is blocked off. So it's like if they've been there for hours already, do they then want to come to a show at the California Theater?
The answer is yes. And I'll tell you why. They're fucked up and they can't drive.
Except for...
They need to chill.
Maybe. I mean, that would be a good thing. Except for what I did hear from, I believe, Amador was people were like, I ain't leaving my lowrider out here. Oh. Because those lowriders, you know, honestly, lowriders, you're looking at like some of them, probably like 90 grand.
Easy.
When it comes down to it,
Easy.
right? So they're
what
like...
I saw last night, easy.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm not going to go in... And I'm sure there were some...
No, bro, they got like $10,000 rims.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure there were
fuck.
some cars there that were maybe in the $30,000 range, maybe. But you know, like anyone who has one of those cars, I guess they told Amador like, I don't want to go in there and leave my car out here unprotected. So like that's another issue where it's like, well, I'm not going to get them to stay and go to the show because they don't want this car sitting out here. They're going to go home, you know.
Oh, it's a dynamic I hadn't even thought of.
Yeah, me neither. So,
yeah, dude, because they had like Chevys and Ford trucks
yeah,
that look like that Pixar film.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Old ass shit.
Yeah.
All.
Are you talking about cars?
Sherry, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Those old ass Ford and Chevy trucks.
I feel like he's talking about Mater.
I don't know. I never watched Cars.
Okay. You talking about The Incredibles? Because
No.
that, like, first of all, sorry for the sidestep. The artwork in The Incredibles, so good.
Well, the reason why The Incredibles is my favorite Pixar is not
a superhero movie.
Not only is the story, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it matches my family. But like in the beginning when he's going
true.
through Emeryville,
Oh yeah, it's all local.
that's real shit.
Pixar is local.
No, all those streets are real, and we helped grand
Ice cream
open
shop
that.
in Up, I think.
Yeah, we helped open the grand open the Best Buy.
Oh yeah, it's right there.
It's fucking right across the street
Yeah.
from Pixar. So like when they're jumping around on all those streets and shit, I'm like, that's real as shit.
Sorry to take you on that sidetrack.
No, I love
But yeah, there were just people didn't want to leave their cars there. So
So they didn't stick around for the show.
Yeah. So even though it's basically like we're going to bring this Soldies show. Soldies are new songs that sound like oldies. We're going to bring this Soldies show on what seems to be the perfect night because it's the first night of the Lowrider Car Show. That's right. I'm calling it the Lowrider Car Show. So, because they haven't had another car show over the weekend.
Here's the problem.
That's probably what
I
I'm talking
understand the problem.
You know? So even though it's the perfect night, because everyone who would love the music is there at the car show,
But
convincing them to get inside without understanding what we do, there lies the rub. And the people who need to leave because they've been there and all that, you know.
because Pittsburgh is a thug ass town.
Yeah.
And you cannot leave your $90,000
That's
lowrider out on the street
So to go
in this town.
right, to go right back to the beginning.
Because they'll be gone.
What does Pittsburgh support? The Mecca, the high school football team, and the high school marching band.
And what is the high school football team mascot?
It's a pirate.
Exactly.
Yo ho.
Yo ho.
Ho.
Right. The Pirates live for me.
Yeah. You like those cufflinks, don't you?
God damn it. You rocked them shit so hard last night, dude.
So
You came so correct with that suit, and you looked at me and you flashed me that devilish smile that like only Johnny Cash has when he's high live on TV. And you were like, look at this.
Yep.
And the cufflinks were a fucking silver
yeah.
Jolly Roger skull and
Yep.
crossbones.
Yep.
And I'm like, you pirate.
There was a while.
Pirate.
There was a while where I was like, I bought them because I was like, oh, these are dope. And then there was a while where I was like, oh, are these like cheesy, like dumb? And now I'm back to they're dope again.
They're the coolest shit you ever did.
So
That shit was so cool. How long have you had them?
probably a decade.
Oh, dude, come on. You keep those forever.
So-
What the fuck?
Oh, I will. So So even saying all of what I said about, I wish those people would have come in. I'm very happy with how the show went.
Oh my God.
Because like understanding that there were, okay, first of all, as far as from what I could see, everyone there was loving what we were doing.
Absolutely.
Even my buddy Mike Inzarello, who was just sitting there like this the whole time. He loved it. He walked in, hi Mike, he walked in, if you ever see this, he walked in and was like, is this coffee and cream? And he was holding a coffee and cream cassette. Were you there for this?
Yeah.
He was like, coffee and cream, this is cream, to his wife, this is cream. Oh my God, could you know, like, you're the guy.
I was there, and that, I wish I got that
I know you
on
didn't
film.
know him, yeah.
I wish I got that on film. He did not introduce himself to me or anything. He just fanboyed out when he saw me.
Oh, but that it was all for the sake of comedy.
It was all funny.
And like,
you could tell you guys went way back.
yeah,
And it was awesome as fuck.
30 years,
It
more
was
than 30
awesome
years,
as
maybe?
fuck. And he's all, he's cream! He's cream!
Yeah.
And I was like,
It was hilarious.
wait,
And
he
that's
is cream!
dope that he still has that cassette. I looked like it's a cassette tape, and that I think we like we printed out the sleeves ourselves. We like made stickers to put on the cassette tapes.
That's so fucking funny.
That's how like DIY back then, like printing stuff at the printers and cutting them out.
Though, because
it was from 1995.
Yeah, but Coffee, we recently saw play with the Alpha Rhythm Kings
At Yoshi's.
at Yoshi's in Oakland.
Terrence is Coffee.
Look at you guys.
And real quick, the reason we came up with that name is we had just started playing together. We had known each other and known who each other were for a good 2 years maybe, but we ended up in a spot where we were both playing guitar in the LMC jazz band, the big band, right? So we would like trade off where he would play on some certain songs and I would play on certain songs, right? But then we thought we hated each other because we were basically, I guess we felt like we were exactly. We were in competition for that slot, even though we weren't. So once we got over that, which Jeff Hunt was like, you guys are dumb. Like you guys are both asking me the same questions.
All of your close friends you start out as enemies with, or what the fuck, man?
Maybe, yeah, because we did start out as enemies, very much enemies, even though we didn't.
What a weird thing. Go continue.
So our band, so we basically, once we got
your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. You wait, buddy. We'll just see what I got in store for you.
And two, Luhan.
Yeah. So
I'm in the shed. What the fuck?
Exactly. Upside down drain.
No,
I mean, no,
not
never
the
mind.
shed. Not the shed. Right.
So once we got over like I said, Jeff Hunt was basically like, you guys are asking me the same questions, which at that point, the questions were basically like, I don't think Terrence likes me. Does Terrence like me? And I don't know if Chris likes me. Does Chris like me? Because Jeff was a mutual friend. Once we got over that, thanks to Jeff Hunt, we started playing together as a guitar duo. And so we there's a thing called the Real Book. That's what like basically like all of the college dudes use, at least the community college dudes use. And it's a book of like 550 like jazz standards, right? So we would use them to like practice, and I would do like rhythm and he would do lead. And once we were like, oh, this is actually a thing. This like we could go do small shows like this. Terrence told John Maltester, who was the head of the jazz program, he told him, oh, me and Chris are going to start doing guitar duo things. And John Maltester said, oh, what are you going to call yourselves? Coffee and Cream? And that's where the name, we were like, oh, yeah, that's perfect. Like, you're not going to offend us.
No, exactly. Look, and that's how names
And he wasn't meaning to offend us either.
Truly, like, the whole reason why I'm called BINDU, right? You don't pick your name. Someone picks your name.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay,
that's true.
Cool.
So, yeah, like, I mean, if you really want to know about Pittsburgh, that's what it is. You have
Dope.
This is how this is the diversity of Pittsburgh right here. Is like it was the 90s, and you had a 60-ish something band director. You have Terrence, who's black. You have me, who's Italian and Mexican, and you have this white 60-year-old something guy who can make a joke like that and know that no one's gonna be offended. That's Pittsburgh.
That was awesome.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's knowing who John Maltester is, it doesn't come off as offensive, and that's what Pittsburgh is.
Agreed, completely and totally. It's a weird pocket universe of diversity.
Yeah.
It's really amazing, but it really goes back to the 40s, like I told you.
Yeah.
The reason why my Filipino grandparents were able to buy a house is because back in the day, Pittsburgh and Vallejo, those were the only couple of cities where you could own a home if you weren't white.
I was just repeating all of this, thanks to you, to our guitar player last night.
Oh, no shit.
Backstage, yeah.
Yeah, so since the 40s, it's been a really diverse, incorporated city.
Yeah.
And, we're really concentrated on the river because we're on the Joaquin River, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a cannery. So, like, everyone worked at, like, the steel mill or the cannery or whatever.
And then we're actually named after the other Pittsburgh because of our steel industry.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crazy, man. Dope-ass little town.
Yeah.
And you fucking rock the house in your
you were I just interrupted you right when you were about to say Pittsburgh and Vallejo were the only places where people who weren't white could buy homes. Mm-hmm.
Well, it was also weird because that was the 40s, right? Mm-hmm. So my parents bought a house in my grandparents bought a house in Parkside on Mildred. Mm-hmm. right? And so for all the locals here, they know what that is. They're like, oh shit, right?
Right.
Right.
3 locals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All 2 locals that are watching right now.
Us.
Yeah.
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, that.
That's why there's a Phil Am here in Pittsburgh. There's a weird, like right across the, right around the corner from the Phil Am is a Moose Lodge. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been in there?
No, I haven't been in
I've
there.
done private shows.
Oh,
in there.
yeah?
Yeah, there's like a little bar in there and shit.
We
little dance area.
We played New Love Soul Review, a band I was in, with Rob. Rob played trumpet for us on this gig. It was at some like Freemason lodge or something like that. It was.
Oh shit.
And Ishtar, who's black vocalist, she was like legit like, what the fuck is this place?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know if you've ever been like, sometimes, okay, so on Railroad, right where you were performing.
Yeah.
Right across the street from there, you have the Mecca, and a little bit down, you have La Veranda.
Right.
Right? But in between all of those, there's these high-rise kind of buildings. Have you ever been in these buildings?
No.
They're art galleries.
Oh, are they?
They're fucking awesome. And they're...
Art galleries?
Dude, they're open-spaced fucking galleries with balconies that have galleries on top.
What?
No shit. I've been in there. And they're super secret, and they very rarely open them up to the public.
Pittsburgh?
Fuck yeah, right next to the Mecca. It's stupid. It's retarded.
So it did. I see. Doing that show last night.
They're all privately owned, and I'm like, how do we get in there, man?
Doing that show last night and seeing that theater made me go, oh, it sounds funny coming from me about with everything I just said. Oh, Pittsburgh really has something to offer. You know, like I had been in there for a, you know, junior high-ish age stage play before when it like had just reopened. I don't even think they had the digital sign out front or anything.
Bro, they
back
did
then.
it up in there. It was really classy.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is like... So like when I was in there for the elementary or junior high-ish stage play, it had that vibe to the theater.
Sure.
But seeing it last night, and again, I know that they put in a new sound system and stuff like that, but seeing it last night, I was like, oh, this is a really nice theater.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
They finally figured out by the time you guys were on there.
Yeah.
And it was cute
Oh,
hearing you
see,
guys
that's what I wanna
like
get
warm
to,
up
too.
behind the curtain right in the very beginning.
This is going hella long.
It doesn't matter.
What are you telling me?
Wrap it up.
Oh, okay. This is a long story. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, the reason that we were warming up back there is because our guitar... See, this is like going right back to the top. We are so far away from San Francisco, which is where 2 of the guys had to come from, right? And because of what time they had to come and like what time they got off of their day job, it was like they're going to be stuck in that massive amount of traffic. There's no getting there earlier. Our drummer was able to get out earlier because he got off work at 2:30, and so he just came right to Pittsburgh after work and like got some. He got a tequila at La Veranda, right? So he just hung out for a while. So
Who was that?
Micah, the drummer,
Dope.
yeah, Micah McLeod. Hi, Micah, if you ever see this.
That
So
was dope.
so at least Micah was there earlier.
Incredibly strong handshake.
Oh, Micah's the best. So, and I love Micah, and I played with him many years ago and always was like, I want to play with Micah, I want to play with Micah. He always had many, many, many gigs. We just happened to catch him at the right time where now he's available and willing and wanting to play with us.
At the very end, that dude,
Yeah.
the Molly guy.
Yes.
You're going to have to beep that shit out.
Whatever. So I'll beep it right here.
I'm sorry. What is the name of your fabulous fucking keyboardist, man?
Steve Utstein.
God damn it, I love that man.
And Daniel Aronson on guitar, which I think we talked about earlier.
Bro, he...
So to wrap it up, thankfully Micah was there super early.
Okay.
I was able to get there early, obviously, because I'm just down the road. Andre came early and was hanging out at my house doing
Right.
some work there. So who was there earlier? The drummer, the bass player, and Andre, right? Thankfully, because the drums is the hardest thing to get sound. You got to set up multiple microphones. You have to mix the drums by themselves even. It's not like, you know, you could like, okay, this is how loud the drums are. Now we bring up the bass. You know, it's not like that. The drums itself is like, I think there might have been 7 or 8 microphones, right? So it's like, that's going to be the bulk of your putting shit together as a sound engineer. So thankfully, Michael was there earlier. Unfortunately, the guitar player, Daniel, and Steve, the keyboard player, they couldn't get there earlier. No fault to them. It's just that's how work and life worked its way out, right? So the guitar player and the keyboard player, and Andre really, because the opening bands took their microphones away. So it's like, well, now the sound guy has to set up microphones. Andre never sang in the mic. I never talked in the mic. We basically just we're coming in like, well, the drums and bass are mixed. So when the curtain was closed, what we were doing was setting up the guitar amp, putting a microphone on it, setting up the keyboards because they got there. You know, there was no way for us to set up because the opening bands were playing. So backstage, we were like trying to like get microphones on things and like putting everything in place. Stevie had to set up his keyboards. So like everything you heard was us trying to make sure that the guitar was coming through the system and the keyboards were coming through the system.
It was cute because you could see feet.
That was probably. Oh, could you? Did you film any of that?
I don't think so.
That's what I would want to see because that sounds like right out of a movie.
It was totally, dude. I'm telling you,
just add feedback.
From my perspective, it was very like Saturday Night Fever. Like I got out of my truck, right, and the second I started walking, it was fucking Saturday Night, bro. Yeah. All the way to the fucking theater, and I came in, and then it was just, you're a rock star, and I'm your friend. And I, you know, and even afterwards, I get to go up on the stage and look around. Yeah. Totally different perspective.
That place, that theater, I'm telling you, maybe you should have come downstairs. Because it was like, hey, there's like a green room, like underneath of the stage.
Wouldn't share any pizza with me, Maceo.
I told you
he wouldn't share any of it.
Motherfucker.
He's like, dude, I got pizza down there. And he
credits. It was Mountain Mike's Pizza. I didn't make pizza, but I am making pizza on Thursday, and we'll get to that later. Whatever. Yo. Bum rush the show. I think I said everything I needed to say. I'm happy about how it turned out. I was stressed. My only real stress was, is anyone going to show up? Knowing that there were 80 plus people in there who probably had never heard us before, I'm happy with how it turned out.
It was dope. You had people dancing in the aisles. I recorded it. Everybody was happy. Standing ovations. Everyone just like, holy shit.
All we need to do now is go back to the basics. Tell your friends.
Straight up.
If you liked the show, tell your friends.
God damn.
Word of mouth.
That was great. Let's get high.
Producer, songwriter, record label owner, multiple record label owner, and favorite son of Pittsburgh, California, Mr. Chris Lewis! They think you're cool, Chris, so do I.